So I went from zero debt in the beginning of 2024 to $60,000 worth of debt and almost ruined my eBay reselling business. So let me tell you about that. If you're new here, I am AngieResells, and I have been a reseller on eBay for 27 years. So I've been around the block a time or two with eBay, and last year was a bit of a struggle. So let me tell you about my 2024 and what I'm changing in 2025. So 2024 was a trials and tribulations year for me, for sure. Let's see, we started off the year with Ollie, my dachshund, having to have surgery. That was like several $1,000s by the time they diagnosed him, and come to find out he had bladder stones, which was not a pleasant surgery at all for the little bubby. Then I had not one, but two surgeries for kidney stones. Evidently, they couldn't get it all the first time, so they had to do it a second time. What I didn't realize last year was that my insurance policy changed to like a deductible of like $7,000. So I had to come up with that right away. And then I owed taxes. Then I had a major surgery. Now, I'm very open about my life and things like that, though I haven't done any videos on YouTube. I try to be pretty transparent with everyone. I used to be 308 pounds. I'm now 160. And in August of this year, I had an abdominoplasty and a breast reduction. Now, it was not just for those reasons. I had other issues, hernia, and something called a diastasis recti, which is fancy words for my abdominal muscles had split significantly from my weight. They never went back together. And it was a dangerous situation for me because I had old hernias that were stretched. Anyway, my surgery should have been like a normal surgery. It ended up with a lot of complications. I expected to be out of work for 4 weeks, and I was out of work for 8 weeks. And it wasn't just physical, it was very, very mental. Now, in 2024, I also made some bad decisions, like I bought a couple pallets that were not profitable on credit. Yeah, because I had spent all of my money on all the other things that I needed. And then I owed taxes because I didn't pay my taxes until almost October. That was like another $4,000. So you see the spiral that was happening for me. All during that time, my mental health was getting worse and worse and worse. I have depression and anxiety, but normally I keep it pretty well at bay. But last year was just a difficult year for me. And after my surgery, I felt so helpless and hopeless that it kind of put me into a really bad downward spiral. And I just didn't focus on my business at all. To end the year off, my car needed thousands of dollars worth of repairs. And as soon as I had all of that work done, somehow the engine needed to be replaced because the oil filter was loose. So I had to buy another car, even though my car only had 44,000 miles on it. Yeah, it's the year that kept giving and giving. Now, I'm not going to make this all about woe is me, but I am here to say that, we on YouTube, resellers especially, we always like to put on the happy face and tell you our great sales and tell you all the wonderful things that happen to us. But quite honestly, reselling can be very lonely. And if you are struggling with mental health, it can be difficult to get out of that. And I don't have a spouse, I'm single, that I can rely on their income. If I don't sell, we don't eat. So being off work for several months, that put me into further debt. Much longer than I expected to be. And then getting back into the flow of things was really, really, really difficult for me. But that put me in $60,000 debt. $60,000 debt. I mean, the debt accumulation was crazy for me. So 2024 was a tough year for sure. I really wondered about my sanity for a while, but I'm not going to give up. Okay. So I want to share with you my plans to rebuild my business and all the other things that I do and overcome all the challenges of 2024. Okay. I actually have notes here. I've been watching a lot of tech and sports. Okay. He is brilliant. I'm so glad that he has now come out and put videos out himself. But he is right as far as my business goes. I have a storage business, not a reselling business. I don't know what it is that I cannot let go of items, even when they are duds that won't sell. So part of 2025 is I'm going to work on that. Okay. I also had some failures in my business that mental health and just, I think the mental health caused me to struggle with motivation. So I wasn't working on my business daily like I should. Because reselling, unfortunately, it's not like one of those jobs that you can set it and forget it and walk away and it's just going to keep bringing you money. You have to work on it every single day, really, in order for it to be successful if you want to support your family that way. I also bought some pallets because I was searching desperately for something to give me some motivation. Unfortunately, unlike years past where you could buy pallets and they were great profit and great products, they were pretty much not profitable. I broke even, barely, and I did a whole month's worth of work essentially just breaking even. That was bad. And I think the biggest thing for me for 2024 is the mental health aspect of it. I think that when you work from home and you work alone, and I don't have a significant other, it can be a very lonely place to be a reseller. Now, I am very fortunate that I have some amazing, amazing friends that I have met in this community. My closest friends truly are other resellers. And if you haven't collaborated with other resellers, if you haven't reached out to other resellers to talk to them and, just be a part of their community, do it, because that has been my saving grace of having good people in my life that I can count on. So what I've decided is, rather than giving up and going and stopping reselling and going in and getting a job, which I consider doing. I am an accountant. I can go and work for someone else, but I don't really want to do that. So I thought I would come on here and share with you 2024, absolute failure, worst, I think, one of the worst, if not worst years I ever had on eBay. Mostly my fault. With situations that were not controllable, unfortunately. And, when you have a mental health crisis, which I kind of feel like I was in that situation, it's really, you have to prioritize some different things. So 2025 is going to be a year of change and growth for me. And that's what I really want to talk about, how we're going to be winning this year, whereas last year it was really the trials and tribulations year, okay? So, number one, mental health focus is so important. I think that sharing with you, with others, the struggles that I have, that they're real, that I can't do it alone, is super important. Other thing I'm doing is, I've lost a lot of weight, like 150 pounds. Like I'm 2 pounds away from 150 pounds loss. So that's pretty significant. So this year is exercise, is my, I exercise already, I walk, but I'm really want to focus on strength training to help my mental state. And coming on YouTube and sharing with you my story and my business, so in a way that helps you with your story and your business. Okay, some other things I'm going to do. Daily steps, daily actions, I think are so important. One of the things I did this year, and I used to do this, but I got away from this, is how many listings every single day, keeping track of it. Now, some people do, I know Shed Flips, they are doing it by dollar amount. I'm still doing it how many listings I'm doing, because that's just working for me right now. Now I might change it up and do it for, dollar amount later down the road, but I think this works for me right now. Having a routine, that's the other thing. I was very consistently inconsistent, I would say. Now I get up every day by like 8:30 because I'm going to be working by 9. So I get up, I get, play with the dog, let him out, get some tea or coffee, get motivated for the day, and then get working. So that's the other thing, is consistently every single day. The next thing I'm going to do is be getting rid of that old unsellable inventory. Tech was right. Focus on selling and getting rid of your items and not being a storage facility. I want to stretch every dollar out of every product, but guess what? Some things are just not worth it. Some things are old and outdated, and I don't need to be selling items for $4. If I'm having on there for $4, by the time I pay the eBay fees, the promoted fees, my time, the packaging, it's a losing venture for me at that point. So every day I'm going to try to do like 10 items that I am pulling out of inventory, either revamping them or lotting them or getting rid of them, something. I was going to do it by oldest, and I will do that with clothes and things, but I started with the lowest dollar items, and that's what I'm going to be doing for now. One of the things I did this week was get rid of, I had tons of cassettes individually listed. Well, I decided to take them all off individually, and we're going to relist them this week. All of them, for like $10 as a lot. So that's one of the options that I'm doing for some of that dead stuff. But some of it is just either I'm going to hold on to it for when I have an auction on my YouTube, or it's going to charity. So getting rid of that old stuff and hitting those old listings and really taking a look as if I can sell it, or if there's something wrong with the listing, or if it's just time to let it go. So that's a big thing. The other thing that I'm going to do is find new sourcing opportunities. Now, I will tell you, I hate going to the thrift store. Probably one of the only resellers that do. I don't know. I don't like going to a thrift store. They are overpriced and I just don't enjoy it. Now, I love the Goodwill bins. I love to go to yard sales, but I'm trying to find new ways to get inventory. Now, I just bought out, and I'm going to tell you quickly just a little snippet of the two things that I've done this month, but I'm going to do separate videos coming up in the next week or so. So make sure you're subscribed. You can hit the subscribe button down below. So one of the things I did is the store was going out of business, and I bought over 800 bras. Brand new with tags, made in form, Vanity Fair, Playtex, Bally, bras. I mean, over 800 of them. Now, I've already listed about 150 of them, still have so many to go. But that is like one example of a different kind of source opportunity. The other one is I have been looking for people who are selling their inventory that they no longer want. I found somebody who is getting out of the reselling business, and I bought her entire inventory, which is like 1,500 items. But the cool thing is, I wouldn't have bought it if I couldn't do this. With Venmo, I was able to transfer her entire inventory, her listings, her pictures, everything into Venmo on my account. And now I can actually go ahead now and put them onto my Poshmark and my eBay and never have to take another picture as long as her pictures are good. I'm going to tell you all about that. I love Venmo. I have an affiliate link if you want to try them, and they have a great price now. They just started this month for like the unlimited plan. It is like the best around. And the delist, the auto delist when something sells is amazing. Okay, so then the next thing, so anyways, I'm going to tell you about both of those in videos coming up. So another thing that I'm going to do is accountability, okay? YouTube, for me, I didn't do a single YouTube video in 2024. If that doesn't tell you where my mental health was, not good. So I will be doing YouTube videos not only for you to help you out, but for me, because by doing a YouTube video, it keeps me accountable. So at least once a week, I'll be doing a what sold video, and they could be bad. They could be bad for real. Like, I'm still digging out of a hole that I've been in, and so my sales are slow. But you're going to see that. You're going to see exactly what I'm selling and what I'm putting on, and we're going to share that. Then I have to do other videos to tell you what I'm sourcing, what it looks like when your house is crazy, when you bring in 55 totes of someone else's inventory. Yeah, I'm going to tell you all about that too. So it really does help me to share, and I hope it helps you too, okay? So I hope that you will leave a comment down below, share your journey, share the things that you have been successful with, and if you've had failures, because I think with helping each other and building relationships with each other is so important for business success and for our mental health. You know, I don't have a spouse, so my friends, I rely on my friends, and most of my friends are resellers that I met on YouTube. So really, truly important for me. Okay, so I guess the big thing, commitment to rebuilding my business. That is true. So for me, 2025, I reflected on this a lot, and I seriously considered going back to work. And I realized that I just don't want to do that. Now, I do something else besides eBay, besides reselling, but it is still in that same reselling realm. And that is, I make videos for brands. Thank you, Scott Cha-Ching King, who got me into Amazon Influencer, which turned into me doing UGC content. So basically, like this week, I just did Jenny Craig. They sent me the food. I did all these videos. So I imagine I'll be on one of their ads coming up, probably like YouTube ads or Facebook ads or whatever. So I create videos for them. And so that is supplementing my income in such a way that I can keep doing this rather than me go get a job that I probably won't be happy with. Without that, I might have had to, because my reselling has tanked, my own fault. But I am determined that I'm going to do all the steps that I need. And I have been doing it for several weeks. I didn't want to come in and say, I'm going to do this and not have done it at all. I don't believe in doing New Year's resolutions, but I do believe that creating goals for yourself and starting the plans and following through with them are super important in business. So I wanted to be doing it before I came on here and talked to you about it. I see all the people saying 2024 and how successful they were. Y'all, mine was the opposite. So, okay. So I guess the biggest thing now is we're going to build up in 2025. We're going to do better. I'm going to make my focus on my business be a priority. So that means working on it every day, keeping a consistent schedule, and not letting my mental health, or working on my mental health so that it doesn't affect my ability to do the work that I need to every single day. Because it did. When you have depression, it really affects your ability. There are days I didn't want to get out of bed. And it's so easy to see us on here and see resellers on here, and everybody has the positive face forward. But behind the mask, it's not always the positive. And so I really wanted to come on here and just let you know that it's okay. Failure is okay as long as you're willing to work and do what needs to be done to grow from that and learn from that. And not every day is perfect, and not every day is a great mental health day for me. I'm not like, it's just, I think, kind of normal. It's, everyone goes through seasons in their life that are challenging, and this has been a really challenging season in mine. But I'm determined to improve and grow this year and be consistent, and I would love for you to share the journey with me. And I want to hear about your successes, and I want to hear about your failures, and I want to know what's going on in your businesses so that together we can build a great community, because the friendships that I formed really have been everything to me. So look forward to Tuesday. We'll be having a What Sold video from the prior week, and I'll be doing videos coming up just to share with you my story and the adventures I have in reselling, and I'll probably throw in some UGC stuff there so you can see what it's like to be a paid brand person. All right, guys, I love you. See you soon.